All right, man. Greetings and salutations to everybody, man. This is the Black Line. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Randall Thomas, and let's get into the proceedings this evening about what we just saw with the 2020 NFL drafts. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and last night, I watched a couple of guys' reactions, to the draft picks, and I got a kick out of it. It was pretty funny, but we need to calm down. It's my dog, Petey. We need to calm down with our reactions because we got to learn to look at the bigger picture of things. But I'm gonna give you guys my rundown. My opinion about what happened in the draft. This year. So in the first round, we selected Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor was actually in my top 10 receiver prospects, so I wasn't too upset with it. It's just I wanted Denzel Mims, because I just feel like Denzel Mims was the better player. That's nothing against Jalen Reagor or anything like that. Yeah, he's been tearing it up. He is about 5'11", 200 pounds, came out of TCU. And a lot of the problems that he had with drops in TCUs can be attributed to just poor quarterback play. He played with a true freshman. And then the year before that, he had another quarterback and he was more productive. But with him, I think he's more than just a quote unquote speed guy. People just want to. I hate when we get, prospects that get saddled with, certain labels, by people who never really watch these guys play. We can say the same thing about Henry Ruggs, too. Henry Ruggs was not a speed guy. He just so happened to be the fastest player on the team. And as far as his production struggled because he played alongside with two other All-Americans. So we got to take that into account. Jalen Reagor is similar player. I think he's another guy that can be like a Steve Smith. Steve Smith Sr. He was I wouldn't say he was undersized, but he was a deep speed guy, but he can also run every route in the route tree, and he ran with toughness. He was a tough player. He was only about 5'10", 180, 190, but he was tough. And I see a lot of that in Jalen Reagor, so I'm pleased with the pick. The second pick, kind of threw me for a loop for a little bit. For about an hour, I was really upset with it. But we got Jalen Hurts from Oklahoma, and before then he won a championship with Alabama. The thing that bothers me about the Jalen Hurts pick, though, is that we're planning on using him kind of like a Taysom Hill. And I figure you don't draft one of those type of players in the first couple of rounds. Like that's a project. Taysom Hill himself didn't get drafted. He was undrafted. I forget what school he went to. I really don't care. I just don't think he's a good quarterback. But he's a good football player. So they found a way to get him the ball, found a way to get him in the game. But if Taysom Hill was such a good quarterback, he would have started when Drew Brees missed, 6 games. Teddy Bridgewater took over and held it down, and the team actually performed a lot better under Teddy Bridgewater, if you ask me. Also, so I don't look at Jalen Reagor in that light. I just don't, because he's proven it at 2 different elite programs with different offensive philosophies, and he thrived in both. So I'm not going to feed into that. Like, I think he's more Russell Wilson than anything. I'm not saying he's going to turn out to be Russell Wilson, but he can actually play quarterback. If Carson Wentz were to go down with injury, I'm more comfortable with Jalen Hurts taking over than Nate Sudfeld or any other of these dudes, Clayton Thorson. You know, I'm good with Jalen Hurts. I would much rather have him. I'm good. You know, I'll talk more about Jalen Hurts as we go along with my opinion of the draft picks. But right now, y'all need to put some respect on Jalen Hurts' name. Um, in the third round, we got Davion Taylor out of Colorado. It's a linebacker. He's small for a linebacker, but he ran like a 4.3. And I look at some film on the guy. He pops off the screen. And once we made that selection, I was like, all right, I see what we're doing because we were trying to get fast on all levels. Like we were, up front, we were dominant. If we were healthy, we were pretty dominant up front. But it's when we got to our linebackers, that second level is like, we had T.J. Edwards and Nathan Gary and Nigel Bradham. Those are our main three linebackers. And we let Nigel Bradham walk, who I thought was our best linebacker by far. I mean, and I'm not saying he's a world beater at linebacker, but he was our best at that position. Like I do not trust Nathan Gary. I don't trust the other guy. So with the Davion Taylor selection, I was pleased with that. He's just an all around athlete, and you can line him up anywhere on the field. Kind of like how we did Malcolm Jenkins, even though Malcolm Jenkins was more of a safety, but he has that type of versatility. All right. Our next pick was Kayvon Wallace. He's a safety out of Clemson, and Clemson is pretty much a football factory. You know what I'm talking about? Clemson is a football factory, so pretty much any player that comes from there will produce. Will produce. So I'm good with that. He's who else? Yeah. He's more. I look at him as more like a Cam Chancellor type. He's more of a box safety. You know, and he's a big hitter. We got two big hitters. We got Davion Taylor and Kayvon Wallace, two big hitters. We got more athletic on every level. That's another reason why I'm pleased with this draft. After that, we got a guard, Jack Driscoll, out of Auburn. Pretty good player, and he's another versatile guy. Another versatile guy that we got. Because we lost Big V, Halipulu Valivate. Did I say his name right? We lost him in free agency, went to the Lions, and he was a decent player for us, because he can just plug him in anywhere. He can play tackle, he can play inside, he can play guard, play outside. I think he played center a couple times. Or was that the other dude? I forgot his name. But anyway, so I'm good with the Driscoll pick because he just adds depth to our offensive line. Then we traded a pick to Dallas, and Dallas ended up picking the center. At first I was like, what are we doing? I was like, what are we doing? But that was cool. And then we traded for Marquise Goodwin from San Francisco. I think we traded a 5th rounder for him. I'm good with that. Like, because once you get into like the 4th and 5th round, you kind of, drafting projects. So to trade a 5th round pick for a proven player, I'm good. I'm good with it. I like Marquise Goodwin. Last season he had some injuries or whatever, but we gave up a 5th rounder for him. I'm straight with it. Like I love this, where we're going. Then this is probably my favorite pick, John Hightower, because not only is he a speed guy, quote unquote speed guy, he's a very smooth route runner. and then he has a 38-inch vertical. So that just tells me another thing. Alshon Jeffrey might be out of here, like sooner than you think, because I think this guy can come in and contribute immediately, at least be that jump ball specialist that Alshon Jeffrey was, before, the injuries caught up with him, injuries and age. Mainly injuries because Alshon ain't even 30 years old, man. The thing about football players is like as soon as they turn 30 years old, you ready to put them in the rocking chair. I think Alshon Jeffrey still have a lot left in the tank. It's just he's hurt. And seeing what we've done in the draft this year, he might be the odd man out. Most likely he's going to be the odd man out, just when you factor in, the turmoil surrounding him, even though I think it's kind of unfounded, But it is what it is. So we trade the next pick to the Bears, man. And then on, what was that pick, 196, we drafted a linebacker by the name of Sean Bradley. He went to Temple. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know anything about Temple linebackers. I got family in Philly, so they probably know about him. But I already know he's better than Nathan Gary. I know cuz better than Nathan Gary. I'm not even whatever. Better than Nathan Gary. Moving right along, man. Quez Watkins. I was surprised to see this guy fall this far at least. Shout out to a Philadelphia Eagles content creator. Was two guys that I follow faithfully. Lord Brunson and Philly 500. Go sub those guys up. Lord Brunson, he's very entertaining. I like him. He's a cool dude. But when he brought up Quez Watkins, I kind of scoffed at Slim. So my apologies, bro. I kind of scoffed at him because I was like, nobody's talking about Quez Watkins because he's just not that good. Like, I heard of him like 4 days before the draft or something like that. And I was like, we haven't heard of this dude by now, then he's not that good. But, after that, I kind of looked at Quez Watkins and I was like, oh, yeah, he might be pretty good. He went to Southern Miss. He's another fast guy, but he got some size too. So that everything is pointing to Alshon Jeffrey might being, the odd man out, What else we got? At pick 210, we drafted Prince Tiga Maninogo. I hope I said that correctly. He's from Nigeria. He's another offensive tackle from Auburn. We got two players from Auburn. How about that? Two offensive linemen. Yeah. He's another guy I look at as a project, but at the same time, he's a 6th-round pick, so I don't really expect much for him. But I think, learning from our offensive line coach and just the players we have, surrounding him, he's going to get a lot better. I see a lot of talent in the kid. I think he's going to be great. And then our final pick, Casey Toohill. He's a defensive end / linebacker from Stanford. If he makes the roster, most likely it's going to be a depth move. Move for depth because our strength is our defensive line. But last year we were ravaged by injury. So we couldn't get as much pressure on the quarterback as we wanted to. And then that kind of trickled down to the rest of our defense as we start running out of bodies. So that's how I look at this move. If he comes in and he's an immediate contributor, then that's cool. But I think he'll see like limited action. So all in all, man, I think the draft shakes out pretty well, man. I'm very pleased at all of our picks, even the Jalen Hurts, and I can justify the Jalen Hurts name because if Carson Wentz were to go down with injury, he's more than a gadget guy. Like he can actually ball. You know, he's led two programs to prominence. You know, I would like to see the narrative change around black quarterbacks for real. It's like if they show any type of athleticism, the uh, the pundits and the experts and even some of the coaches will try to change these guys' positions. You know, he shows a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of athleticism, and people are talking about him like he can be a fullback or wide receiver. Come on, man, don't do that. Don't do that. Um, what else? Yeah, I think Jalen Hurts is gonna be a player. He's gonna be a player. I don't think he's gonna last. I don't think he's gonna stay with us for another contract. But I think we're gonna trade him or franchise him or something. But I don't see him being here for the long. I mean, I guess his first contract was what 4 years. You know, but I don't see him being here any longer than 4 years. That's pretty much all I gotta say about the 2020 Eagles draft, man. I'm really impressed. I'll give this draft a B, a strong, not a B plus, but I give him a B. It's cool. I'll give it a B because I really want, I really wanted Denzel Mims. I really wanted Denzel Mims, and we had two opportunities to take him. We could have paired him and Jalen Rieger. I think we kind of overcompensated at the receiver position. Like we got one, two, three, four. We picked up four receivers today, man. All right. So I don't. All these receivers aren't going to contribute immediately. I would like to. It would be awesome if they all did, but just be a realist. Just be a realist. Like all these guys are not going to, blow up and beat the world or whatever. But if they're all solid contributors, or at least some of them, like if Jalen Rieger, um, Hightower, how about if two of these, four guys are immediately contributing to the team and making an impact, making a positive impact, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And then you got to, if all of them are pretty fast, so if they can't catch, they can damn sure be on the special teams. Worst case scenario. Well, all these kids are good. Um, Howie Roseman, you surprised me because I was in your ass on my social media, especially on Facebook. I don't have Twitter, but on Facebook I was getting in your ass, bro. Uh, but pleasantly surprised I get the draft B. Let me know what you think. It's the Black Line Podcast. I'm Randall Thomas. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to you guys later. Stay blessed. Be peace. Peace be unto you.